apologize. You don't have to apologize. I'm just worried. I'm just worried about your health. The people in my dorm room building started barking at 2 a.m. The fuck? That's very weird. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna grab my water real quick. We still have no lights. So that's why I have this lighting set up. I wish I had fairy lights or something in here, but alas. Yeah, it's going. Hi, Aitlin. You're not late. We haven't started. Hello. Okay, wait. Why did I just pulled it up here. Nope, not that one. Not that one. I was reading If It's Nice, Do It Thrice before this. My girl is struggling. My girl is struggling. I should have pinned my comment. We are reading It's the Little Things by Toss Lots of Sauce. It used to be a one-shot where it's Polytrix as moms, but Toss decided to add another chapter. I pinned the comments. I don't know why it disappeared. Pin it. Oh, it only pins it for like 60 seconds? That's so stupid. That's so stupid. Just another thing about TikTok that I'm gonna complain forever about. This chapter is so cute, which is great because I'm very tired of the angst. I love it. It's really good angst. But I want some cutie stuff. And after this, we might read The Unchanging Polaris. Just because this is a shorter chapter. So let me also pull that up. Unchanging here. Half of my tabs being AO3 tabs. Girl, what the fuck? Oh, beautiful. Go. As roses fall, you'll have to tell her how. What? If you start a Q&A, it stays up permanently. Oh god, guys, I am not good at this. Or I could work on my arty sauce fic. It still kills me that you're writing an arty sauce fic, Reef. Not the Reefwriting, writing an arty sauce fic. Oh god. You must permanently ask our questions. What? What does that mean, Mish? Anyway, Mish, we're reading a fic where they have a baby. You must permanently answer our questions. Yes, I guess I must. I've been stolen into this cult. I'm sorry. Ooh. Anyways, can't stay today, but wanted to say hi. Hi, Saki. Spent 30 minutes trying to get Spotify Premium to work so I could join the Cat's Eye listening. There was a Cat's Eye listening party? Wait. Guys, I am so locked out of everything. It's kind of not even funny. It's so rough. Bottom of the screen should be some options for the stream, then start Q&A. So stupid. Hi, Cheeky. I'm sorry, Cheeky. Where is it? Lightning Q&A? Is it that one? Is it Lightning Q&A? Is it? Girl, what? Is it? Okay. Is this fun? Are you guys having fun? Discuss with... No. Go away. Okay. Oh, go away. Let me try to pin it again. Okay. Please work. It's still 60 seconds. I give up, y'all. I give up. Whatever. Listening party is on Weverse, but my Spotify Premium refuses to work. Okay, I don't have Weverse anyway, so I would have missed it. I have not done the whole Weverse thing. I don't know. I don't want to figure that out as well. What are we reading? We're reading It's the Little Things by Toss Lots of Sauce. Their mom's here, and it's fluff, and it should be cute and fun. Unlike everything else going on right now. I'll just keep pinning it. I'm sorry, Danny. This is so annoying. Okay, let's get started. The summary is just a short chapter of an idea I couldn't get out of my head. And thank God. And thank God this is a shorter chapter because I'm worried about Toss. Toss keeps writing 10,000 word chapters and I'm like, girl, I know you also have school. Are you sleeping? Hi, Muffin Man. Thanks for coming. I do want to say the angst I wrote is for future use. I do. I was in my feelings. Real. Short? How many words? Be honest. Like, this is 4,000 something words. Which isn't short per se, but it is shorter than her usual chapters. So it's like, Mish, you don't have to send flowers, but thank you. It's so funny that you subbed to me. Like, I don't know what to do with the subscriptions, but you just subbed to me. Anyway, I'm just gonna get started because y'all know me. I'll keep yapping. Short for Toss, exactly. I'm the first. Okay. Yeah, get started. Okay. The nurse gave them a polite smile on her way out, pulling the door closed behind her. The doctor will be with you guys shortly. Rumi murmured a soft automatic thank you and then glanced down at the little body curled up in her lap. Nari was still tucked against her chest, knees pulled up, tiny fists balled into Rumi's hoodie like she was afraid it might slip away. Her eyelids were heavy, lashes fluttering every so often, still half asleep from how early they'd woken her. Rumi brushed a stray strand of soft purple hair out of her face and sighed quietly. She could feel Nari's steady breathing against her, warm and calm, and wished she could bottle that serenity and feed it to her two wives. Because right now, tensions were high. Mira was pacing like she was preparing for battle, arms crossed tight, footfalls sharp and restless in the tiny exam room. Zoe was perched on the padded exam bed, leg bouncing so fast the paper crinkled beneath her every time her knee hit. She had both hands clasped together like she was bracing herself for impact. Rumi? She was just trying to keep Nari comfortable while silently wondering which one of them was going to have a meltdown first. Turned out it was Zoe. Shocker. I'm scared, she blurted suddenly, voice pitched just above a whisper. Sorry, that was too loud. I'm scared. Like she was confessing a mortal sin. What if they use a big Needle on her? Rumi glanced up, mildly alarmed at the spelling, and then down at Nari again to make sure she was still dozing. You didn't have to spell it out, she murmured softly, smoothing a hand over their daughter's back. She's half asleep. Zoe scoffed, whispering back like they were in a spy movie. Yeah, and what happens when she wakes up and sees some giant needle of doom coming at her? You know she gets that from me, right? I hated needles as a kid. I mean, hate it. Like, capital H, full-on screaming, had to be held down kind of hated. You still hate needles, Mira muttered under her breath as she passed by the end of the bed for the fourth time. I do not. Zoe paused, frowned, and then groaned. Okay, yeah, maybe a little, but that's not the point. Rumi hummed quietly, watching Zoe unravel. The point is, Zoe continued, gesturing wildly with one hand. What if she inherited that from me? Remember the first time she got her shots? Rumi made a soft, distressed sound just thinking about it, her hand instinctively tightening around Nari's little body. Zoe caught the reaction and groaned louder, burying her face in her hands. She screamed, Zoe said miserably, muffled by her palms. She screamed like her soul was leaving her body, and I swear to God I felt it in my bones. Mira finally stopped pacing, planting her hands on her hips and exhaling through her nose like she was desperately trying to stay level-headed. She was a newborn, she said slowly, deliberately. like she was trying to inject logic into the conversation. Of course she screamed. Babies scream when they get shots. It's normal. But Zoe and Rumi both turned and looked at her. Rumi's brows raised slightly. Zoe squinted. Because for all Mira's calm words, her ears were red, her jaw tight, and her foot had started tapping again without her even noticing. Don't look at me like that, Mira snapped, tugging her hoodie sleeves down like armor. You're scared too, Zoe accused, pointing. I'm not. You are, Rumi said softly, still stroking Nari's hair as her daughter sighed in her sleep. Your shoulders are tense. You get like that when you're nervous. Mira's jaw clicked shut. She scowled. Shut up. Zoe smirked, leaning back dramatically on the crinkling paper. Ha! Called it. You're both ridiculous, Mira muttered, resuming her pacing almost immediately. You're ridiculous and terrified, Zoe shot back. Am not. Rumi sighed, pressing a soft kiss to the crown of Nari's head and letting her voice come out in a whisper just loud enough for the other two to hear. I'm scared too. That made Zoe freeze mid-eye roll. Mira slowed her pacing. She's gonna be fine, Rumi said quickly, clutching Nari a little closer. I know she is, but it's different. Knowing she's gonna get hurt, even for just a second, and not being able to stop it. That silenced them both for a moment, and suddenly the only sound in the room was the hum of the overhead lights and Nari's soft breathing. Ugh, why do you always do that? Mira groaned, throwing her head back against the wall. Rumi blinked at her, genuinely confused. Do what? Zoe leaned dramatically into Rumi's side, clutching at her hoodie like she'd just been mortally wounded. That mom wisdom thing you do? She said, her voice breaking theatrically. You just say stuff all soft and calm and perfect, and then she pressed a hand over her chest. Right in the feels. Every time. Always, Mira added flatly, crossing her arms. They're ridiculous. They're so cute. Rumi stared between them, brows knitting, clearly unsure if they were teasing her or actually serious. She opened her mouth to ask, but then the door opened, and the doctor walked in. Good morning, came a cheerful voice. Dr. Jin! My man! My man! Oh my god. I think there's a mosquito. Go away. Okay, Dr. Jin stepped inside with a small, warm smile. He looked to be in his mid-40s, glasses perched low on his nose, hair peppered faintly with gray. He had that sort of easy presence that made the air in the room feel a little lighter. Good morning! The three women echoed in perfect sync without even meaning to. Dr. Jin paused, smiled wider, and shook his head. You know, I haven't seen you three for checkups in years. He adjusted his glasses and glanced down at his clipboard before looking back up. And now you've brought along a new member of the family, huh? He leaned forward slightly, peering at the tiny lump curled up in Rumi's lap. Nari Mi-young, right? At her name, Rumi smiled and nodded, lowering her head so her voice came out soft and coaxing. That's right. She gave Nari's shoulders a gentle shake. Baby, wake up, the doctor's here. Nari let out a small, muffled groan and burrowed deeper into Rumi's chest, arms wrapping tighter around her hoodie. I know, Rumi whispered, pressing a kiss to the top of her daughter's head. I know it's early, but you've got to get up for just a little bit, okay? This is Dr. Jin. Slowly, Nari cracked one sleepy eye open, squinting blearily at the man in the white coat. She blinked once, twice, then promptly curled back into Rumi's hoodie like a hermit retreating into its shell. Wah, she's so cute. Rumi gave Dr. Jin an apologetic smile, stroking Nari's back. Sorry, she's a little wary of strangers. Her gaze flicked sideways toward Mira. Got it from that one. Mira, who was leaning against the wall with her arms crossed, let out a sharp huff. That's not a bad thing, she muttered under her breath. Zoe snorted, poorly covering her laugh behind her hand. Rumi ignored them both, dipping her chin to whisper into Nari's hair. Sweetie, it's okay. He's just here to help you and make sure you're nice and healthy. She pressed a soft kiss to the crown of her head. Nari peeked her head out a little more this time, blinking up at Dr. Jin, still obviously wary but curious enough to look. Zoe immediately took the chance to jump in, crouching down so she was level with Nari's eyeline. Yeah, Narbear, see? He's here to make sure you're strong enough to fight off those gross, nasty germs, Zoe said brightly. Remember when Oma was sick and snotty last week? This'll make sure your body knows how to karate chop the germs before they get you. From across the room, Mira's head snapped up. Okay, why am I catching strays right now? And don't call me nasty. You were nasty, Zoe countered sweetly, leaning closer to Nari like she was telling her a secret. Like full-on Mucinex germ monster mode. She held up 2 fingers like antenna and made a little weird noise. I have pictures, Narbear. You better not, Mira started, stepping forward. Zoe smirked without looking at her. Should I show her the one where you had the tissue stuffed up both nostrils, or the one where you were drooling on the couch? I wasn't drooling, Mira snapped, hands on her hips now. And those better be deleted, Zoe, I swear. But you were. But fine. But you were really something else. Mira narrowed her eyes. I had a cold. You're acting like I was patient 0. That's good. You kind of were. Zoe tilted her head thoughtfully. There were so many tissues, like a snowstorm. Oh, please, Mira scoffed, uncrossing her arms so she could gesture. You're acting like you didn't cry about having to make your own tea that week. Zoe gasped dramatically. Excuse me? I nursed you back to health. You made me soup once, Mira deadpanned. And it was delicious, Zoe shot back, offended. Mira smirked. I had no taste buds at the time. I wouldn't know. Zoe clutched her chest like Mira had stabbed her. Wow. Wow. Betrayal in its purest form. Not betrayal, Mira said calmly. Just facts. That's it. Nari, back me up. Zoe turned the little girl toward her, whispering, Omma's being mean to me. Nari just blinked up at her sleepily, clearly still processing the chaos. Before Mira could fire off another comeback, Rumi finally spoke, her voice soft but cutting through the noise like a blade. Ladies, oh my god, go away. I don't know how to stop these. Rumi finally spoke. Ladies. Instant silence. Zoe straightened up like she'd just been scolded by a teacher. Mira crossed her arms again, but avoided eye contact, mumbling something that sounded suspiciously like she started it. Rumi sighed, rubbing Nari's back gently. We're at the doctor's. Can we not? Zoe slumped with a pout. Mira let out a small huff. Thank you, Rumi added mildly, like she'd just wrangled 2 extra children instead of 2 adult demon hunters. Nari, at least, seemed a little less tense now, pulling her cheek away from Rumi's hoodie just enough to glance at Dr. Jin again. There she is, Dr. Jin said warmly, crouching down slightly so he wasn't towering over her. Nice to finally meet you, Nari. He kept his tone soft and gentle, his movements unhurried. Like your mother said, I'm just here to help. He held out a hand slowly, giving her the space to choose. Nari hesitated, lips pursed, before murmuring a shy, okay, and slipping her tiny hand into his. Dr. Jin smiled as she shook Nari's tiny hand carefully, like he was holding something precious. Such a sweet girl you have here. he said warmly, glancing at the three women before standing again. He reached for his clipboard and flipped it open, scanning the pages. All right, let's get started. From the nurse's notes, he continued, tapping the paper. Her vitals look great. Weight and height right on track. Hearing and vision tests normal. Everything looks perfectly healthy. All three of them collectively exhaled, shoulders dropping at once. With that being said, he set the clipboard aside and started pulling supplies over. Time for her shots. The atmosphere immediately shifted. Rumi stiffened like a wire pulled taut, her breath hitching. Okay, she murmured, tucking Nari a little closer against her chest. Nari tilted her head up, voice soft and curious. Is it going to hurt? Rumi forced a reassuring smile, stroking her daughter's purple hair. Just a little, baby, like a tiny pinch, and then it's all done. You're strong, like your Umma, Mira added quietly, crouching so she was eye level with Nari. Mm-hmm. Zoe nodded emphatically, holding out her fist. Strongest Narbear in the world. Nari bumped her fist solemnly, like she'd just accepted a heroic mission. Meanwhile, Dr. Jin sat down on his rolling stool and wheeled a small cart over. He opened a sterile package and took out the needle. Rumi's eyes bugged. That's the needle? Both Zoe and Mira leaned to peek and instantly had the same reaction. That's huge, Zoe hissed, clinging instinctively to Mira's arm. That's like harpoon size. Are you trying to slay her? Mira frowned, glaring at the doctor. There isn't a smaller one? Like a baby-sized one? Dr. Jin chuckled softly, shaking his head. Nope. This is the required size for her age group. It'll just be a small pinch. She muttered under her breath. Small pinch my ass. That thing looks like it could take down a bear. Mira, Rumi warned, though she didn't sound all that convinced herself. Dr. Jin gestured toward a drawer. Would you like me to pull the little airplane cover over it? It can help distract her. Yes, absolutely. Non-negotiable, Zoe said instantly, still clutching Mira like she was about to be sacrificed. All right, Dr. Jin hummed, fetching the cover and sliding it onto the syringe before rolling back over. Okay, Mom, can you hold her steady for me and expose her shoulder? Rumi nodded, swallowing thickly as she sat Nari up straighter on her lap. She gently lifted the sleeve over her tiny t-shirt, revealing her small shoulder. Her hands were trembling slightly, and she blinked rapidly like she was trying not to cry. Mira scooted closer on instinct, crouching at Nari's side. You're gonna do okay, Nar, she murmured, voice soft and steady. Zoe, on the other hand, was nibbling her thumbnail like her life depended on it. I feel like I'm the one who's about to get the shot, she whispered, leaning heavily against Mira's shoulder. I'm gonna pass out. I swear I'm gonna pass out. Don't, Mira said dryly without looking at her. You'll scare her. She should be scared, Zoe yelled, pointing at the needle. That thing's a spear. Zoe. Rumi didn't even glance up, but the warning in her voice shut Zoe up instantly. I'm gonna take a little break because I don't think this has a chapter break. Not helping, Zoe! How are we doing? They're so silly. They're so silly. I get the whole thing. Whenever I need to get like a shot or like get my blood drawn, have to get my blood drawn, I have to look away. I can't look at the needle. The last time I had my blood drawn, I cried. But that's a different thing. Like, I feel like getting a shot is like a bit easier than getting your blood drawn. But I did cry. The way they made it worse. Nari is just chilling. Nari is just 4 years old and like, Moms, like, why are you so stressed? She's a badass. That's what she is. She's a 4-year-old badass. Okay. Dr. Jin snapped her gloves, carefully preparing the syringe as he spoke in a calm, reassuring tone. It's going to be very quick. One deep breath, a little pinch, and we're done. No big deal. Rumi stroked Nari's hair, her voice barely above a whisper. Don't look at it, baby. Just snuggle me, okay? Nari obediently turned her face into Rumi's chest, her tiny body curling closer as if bracing herself. Her little hands clutched Rumi's hoodie, but her face stayed calm. No tears, no fussing. She's the most perfect baby angel alive. Meanwhile, Zoe was pale, Mira's jaw was tight, and Rumi looked one blink away from crying. Alrighty then. Dr. Jin's voice was calm and steady as he tore open a small alcohol swab and leaned closer. Just going to clean the area first. Rumi adjusted Nari carefully on her lap, holding her tiny shoulders steady while her thumb rubbed soothing circles against her back. You're okay, baby, she whispered, kissing the crown of her head. Just a little wipe first, all right? The cool touch of the swab brushed against Nari's bare shoulder. Cold, Nari mumbled softly, her little nose scrunching up as she shivered against Rumi's chest. Declined. Sorry, someone invited me to co-host. I know, sweet pea, Zoe said, crouching down beside them with a wobbly smile. But you know what else is cold? Ice cream. And guess what we're getting after this? Nari hesitated, then whispered. Sprinkles? Lots of sprinkles, Mira murmured from behind Zoe, her voice low but certain, and Rumi smiled faintly when she felt Nari's tiny nod against her chest. Dr. Jin smiled as he finished wiping the alcohol pad. All right, Nari, I'm going to need you to take a deep breath for me on 3, okay? Just like blowing out candles. Nari gave the tiniest nod. 1, he said softly. 2, 3. Nari inhaled, and then came the quick pinch of the needle. Rumi felt Nari's little body go stiff in her lap, and when the softest, smallest whimper escaped her daughter, it shattered something inside her. Tears flooded her eyes instantly. Her throat closed up around a soft, choked noise as she bent her head lower, pressing her lips to Nari's temple like she could shield her from the sting by sheer willpower. Mira turned her face into Zoe's shoulder immediately, blinking fast but failing to stop the tears from spilling. Zoe, on the other hand, made a strangled sound and gripped Mira's arm like a lifeline. Oh my god, Zoe whispered hoarsely. Why does this feel like someone just stabbed me? My heart can't handle this. You're fine, Mira murmured, but her voice cracked halfway through. Am I though? Zoe squeaked, clinging harder to her. Dr. Jin worked calmly, pulling the needle out after just a few seconds. All done with the first one. He applied a bright band-aid to the spot and smiled warmly. You did really, really well, Nari. Nari sniffled softly, but peeked down at her band-aid, mesmerized by the little pink cartoon bear printed on it. There were tears gathering in her lashes, but she wasn't sobbing, just braving it out in silence. Rumi wasn't nearly as composed. She let out a tiny sob, wiping Nari's cheek with her thumb, even though there was barely anything there to wipe. You're okay, baby. So okay. Nari blinked a couple times, rubbed one watery eye, and murmured, It's cute. Zoe immediately let out a loud, choked sob. She said it's cute! I'm not okay! Zoe, Mira hissed, though her own voice cracked halfway through. She wiped under her eyes quickly, pretending she wasn't crying. Pull it together, you're scaring her. I am pulled together, Zoe argued, sniffling violently as she clung to Mira's sleeve. This is me pulled together! Dr. Jin gave them a sympathetic little smile, but didn't comment, instead prepping the second shot. Tears? Mira whispered, lifting her head from Zoe's shoulder, her own eyes red. Rumi nodded, her lips wobbling. Mira whimpered softly and leaned in closer. Zoe, meanwhile, didn't even try to hide her tears anymore. They slid freely down her cheeks as she cupped Nari's little hand like it might fall off without her. "This has to be illegal," Zoe muttered, voice wrecked. "Actual torture! Who lets doctors do this?" Dr. Jin chuckled lightly. "All right, last one. Just turn her for me and then we're all done." Rumi nodded quickly, brushing at her tears even though they wouldn't stop. They're killing me. They're so silly. Polytrix in every universe need to be just a little crazy. It's literally 2 shots. They're so silly. Oh my god. She turned Nari so she was sitting on her other leg and pulled up the opposite sleeve, cupping her daughter's small cheek. "This is the last one, baby," she murmured softly. "After this, you're completely done. You're such a brave, strong girl." Nari nodded quietly, bottom lip caught between her teeth as she buried her face halfway into Rumi's neck. "I can't watch," Mira croaked softly, burying her face into Zoe's shoulder this time. Zoe wrapped an arm around her automatically, though her own eyes were glassy and locked on the needle. "I'm looking so you don't have to," she whispered hoarsely. "If I go down, tell Rumi I love her." "You're right here, Zoe," Rumi deadpanned, her voice breaking on the last syllable. "Shh," Zoe hushed. "Don't ruin my final words." "Ladies," Dr. Jin said softly, pausing until both Zoe and Mira fell quiet. "You almost got this. You've got this, Narbear," Zoe whispered hoarsely, reaching out her pinky for Nari to hold. Nari hooked her little pinky with hers, and Zoe almost lost it right there. Dr. Jin worked quickly, swabbing the other shoulder, glancing at Nari. "Ready, sweetheart?" A small nod. "Okay, deep breath again. 1, 2, 3. This time, Nari didn't make a sound, just squeezed Rumi's hoodie in her fists and shut her eyes tight. But still, she didn't cry. Rumi cried for both of them. Zoe made a muffled noise into Mira's hair like she'd just been stabbed, while Mira tightened her grip on Zoe's hoodie, both of them shaking their heads as if they were feeling the needle themselves. And then it was done. "You did so well," Dr. Jin said, sticking another bright Band-Aid on and disposing of the needle. "All finished." He took off his gloves, tossed them into the bin, and reached for hand sanitizer before glancing at the 3 mothers, who were an absolute mess. "Do you need a minute?" He asked delicately. "We're fine," Rumi lied instantly, clutching Nari against her chest like she was made of glass. She exhaled shakily, pressing her lips to Nari's temple. "See, baby? All done." Zoe and Mira hurried over, both leaning in to wrap around them in a clumsy, soft group hug. Zoe was whispering little praises through sniffles, Mira rubbing small circles on Nari's back. "You were so brave, Nari," Mira whispered. "Braver than all of us combined," Zoe added, her voice wobbling hard. Dr. Jin cleared his throat politely, holding up a small plastic basket. "She also gets a prize for being so brave." Nari peeked up, curiosity winning over her nerves as she reached out with a small hand. She grabbed a lollipop and some stickers with a wide grin, showing them proudly to her moms. Zoe sniffled again, her voice wobbling. "You're so strong, Narbear. Her voice cracked and she had to turn away to collect herself. Mira sighed, patting Zoe's back as if to comfort her, but she was still wiping her own tears too. Rumi hugged Nari closer, whispering into her hair, "We're so proud of you, baby." They're so silly. There's a chapter break, so I'm gonna take a little pause. Zoe, please. After that fic, I kind of want to be a mom, TBH. I talked about this last time when I was reading this fic. When I was reading the last chapter. I do not want to be a parent, but I love kids so much. I love kids so much. This is getting me through TSA. Oh my god! What locations have we cleared during these lives? We have cleared TSA, the airport, we have cleared job fair, we've cleared lecture hall, we've cleared, like, babysitting time. Like, the places that I keep hearing of during these lives is so funny. Nashville Bach Party? What's that? Dorm relaxation. My corporate office job. Yeah, corporate office job. Yeah. I was on the bus yesterday. Train journeys. Reef, I'm pretty sure Reef was also on the train at one point. Bachelorette party! Bachelorette party! You've got to be joking. You've got to be joking. Oh shoot, I just remembered homework. Would y'all be down for a live where, like, I'm working on, like, a fanfic that I'm writing, or like working on something else, and we just chill while you guys like do homework or something? I'm maid of honor too. That is crazy. Okay, I'm seeing some yeses. I'm writing a one-shot fic. Like, by writing, I mean I just started. I'm gonna show it off because Reef, I fell for the ellipsis propaganda. I'm writing it on ellipsis. But I'm writing a one-shot. I'm writing a one-shot where Mira is like recovering from like some kind of like leg injury or like ankle injury, and she dances for the first time. Because I got this idea. I'm gonna rant about this real quick. I got this idea because I was watching Popstar Academy again. Because I'm delusional, because I'm crazy, because I like pain. I was watching Popstar Academy, and I was watching the scene where Emily was dancing in front of, who was it? I think it was Sophia and Carly. Emily was dancing in front of Sophia and Carly, and it looked like some kind of mating ritual. It looked like, I am so dead ass, it looked like some kind of mating ritual, and I'm like, I need to make Polytrix do this. Yeah, without her boot. Yeah, so I'm making Polytrix do that, but it's like, they are like actually all in love. At least Mira isn't getting stabbed again. I would never stab Mira. Like, Scout's honor, I would never stab Mira after what I've been through. You are the Polytrix woman. I think I've said this before, but I don't remember. Did you see my bar AU post, Artie? No, I didn't. I am such a fake Reef fan. I've read one chapter of one of your fics. But I've just been so swamped. I thought I saw you like it. Wait, now you're making me question. No, I don't think so. Wait, what did you read? Girl, what did you read? I'm not saying... I'm not saying... I am gonna read The Art of Spoiling Pretty Girls. Eventually. I think I'm gonna start reading it after I'm done with The Unchanging Polaris, TBH. Hi everyone, what are we reading today? We were reading It's the Little Things by Toss, but then I started yapping again. I'm gonna go back. We're like almost done with it, so... Reef, shut up, you're gonna make me laugh. I'm not looking at the chat anymore. We love yapping. Oh my god. We're so close to the end. Nari just got her shots. I think we handled that pretty well. Mira muttered, sucking lazily on a lollipop as they walked out of the doctor's office. The image of Mira sucking on a lollipop is so good. Rumi hummed softly, her own lollipop tucked in the corner of her mouth. They all got lollipops. Oh my god. Reef, shut up. Reef, shut up. They all have lollipops. Her own lollipop tucked in the corner of her mouth. Yeah, and Nari didn't cry once. There was a note of pride in her voice she didn't bother hiding. Right? Zoe said around hers, practically bouncing on her feet. Such a brave girl, just like her mama's. Girl, be for real. Nari beamed up at them from where she was clutching Rumi's hand, proudly swinging her little sticker-covered arm. Zoe glanced between the three of them, eyebrows scrunching together as she pulled the lollipop from her mouth. Wait, okay, but why'd we get lollipops too? Mira didn't even blink, 'cause we're great moms. Zoe snorted, nodding like that made perfect sense. Afterward, they headed to the little ice cream shop down the street, a celebratory stop Mira had promised Nari if she was brave for Umma. Naturally, the promise escalated, and now they were letting her get the biggest cup and anything she wanted in it. Inside, Nari stood on her tiptoes, palms pressed to the glass as she studied the colorful tubs like it was the most important decision of her life. Mira crouched beside her, still sucking on her lollipop, one steady hand resting on the small of Nari's back to keep her from leaning too far. You can have anyone you want, baby, Mira murmured, her voice soft, steady. Nari pointed at a swirl of pink and orange. That one? Sherbet? Rumi supplied gently. Nari nodded seriously, then pointed again. That one too. It's cotton candy. And I want gummy bears. And gummy worms. And sprinkles. And... We'll take 2 scoops of those, please. Zoe interrupted, already leaning over the counter like she was the one ordering for herself. In the biggest cup you've got. The worker raised a brow, but nodded, starting on Nari's masterpiece. By the time they finally got outside with their haul, the sun was warm and the little bench out front was perfect. Nari stood on the bench, clutching her mountain of sherbets, cotton candy, gummies, worms, and sprinkles like it was treasure. Mira kept one arm looped loosely around her waist just in case, eating her own pistachio almond with absent little bites. Rumi sat across from them with her much more sensible choice, mint chocolate chip and vanilla, while Zoe, her cup looked less like ice cream and more like an exploded candy aisle. Mango, cookies and cream, cookie dough, sprinkles, gummy bears, and what might have been crushed Oreos for good measure. Rumi didn't even bother asking why. She knew where Nari's sugar addiction came from. Mira tilted her head, watching Nari hum happily around each bite. It's good, baby? Nari nodded hard, cheeks stuffed. Mine is the best! I bet it is, Rumi said softly, smiling despite herself. Nari scooped up a suspiciously fluorescent blob and held it out to her. Mama Root, try! Rumi blinked at the spoon. It was rainbow, and gummy worms were definitely tangled in there. She grimaced, shaking her head gently. I'm good, Nari, but thank you. Immediately, Nari's little face fell into a pout as she turned to Mira. Mama Ru doesn't like mine. Mira raised her brows at Rumi, feigning offense. She doesn't? That's rude. Zoe, already halfway done with her triple flavor, sprinkle and gummy monstrosity, leaned back with a grin. Yeah, babe, that's cold. You have to eat it if she offers it. It's like a mom rule. Rumi gawked at both of them. You too eat it then. Mira didn't miss a beat, leaning closer to Nari. Can I have a bite, baby? This feels like, I know not everyone is Cat's Eye fans around here, but this feels like that one video where Danny makes a sandwich and she was like, no one wants to try mine. Try mine. And then Yuche tries it and then she's like, oh my god. Guys, I love cat's eye. Can you tell? Okay. Nari's little frown flipped instantly into a grin as she eagerly fed her a spoonful. Mira chewed slowly, nodding exaggeratedly. Mmm, so yummy. Me too, Nari, Zoe piped in, holding out her spoon dramatically. I'd love to try yours. Nari giggled and scooped another bite, carefully holding it out to Zoe, who made a big show of gasping before eating it. 10 out of 10, Zoe declared with a thumbs up. Now, Mira said smoothly, turning back to Rumi with a smug look. You have no reason not to try it. Not to try. Nari stared up at her, big brown eyes wide and pleading as she held out the spoon again. Her tiny lip trembled. Rumi groaned, dragging a hand down her face. You guys are not helping. She needs to learn that not everyone is going to eat her ice cream. Mama Roo, Nari whispered, her voice so soft it made Rumi's chest ache. Rumi hesitated, staring at the rainbow sludge and those ridiculously earnest eyes. She sighed, defeated. Fine. She took the spoon, shoved the bite into her mouth, and immediately regretted her life choices. It was chaos on her tongue. Sour gummies, sherbet tang, overly sweet cotton candy, and sprinkles crunching like gravel. She forced herself to swallow, barely keeping a straight face. She said through clenched teeth. So good. Nari beamed like Rumi had just promised her the world, and that made it worth it. Mira and Zoe clapped dramatically, both clearly entertained. Bravest thing I've seen all day, Zoe muttered. Second bravest, Mira corrected, nodding toward Nari, who was happily digging back into her cup. Rumi shot them both a look, but didn't argue. Truthfully, she was terrible with stuff like this, sharing bites, swapping spoons. She remembered when Nari was still a toddler and had gone through that phase where everything ended up in her mouth. Mira and Zoe had always been the calm ones, telling Nari gently, spit it out, and letting her drop chewed up mystery things right into their hands without flinching. Rumi, on the other hand, had gagged every single time. But when Nari would look at her like this, big, hopeful eyes, soft cheeks, trusting her completely, and suddenly it didn't matter what it was. Rumi would take 1,000 gummy-loaded sherbet bites if it meant making her smile like that again. And that's the end. And the notes just says, the doctor gave them lollipops because they seemed to need it more than Nari LMAO. Thank you, Toss. That was a sweet one. They're so silly. Wait, they're really sweet. Wait. Okay. It's 9:18, which is like so chill. It looks so dark in here. I'm sorry, y'all. It's so annoying. Oh, I'm gonna pull up the Unchanging Polarity. I'm gonna actually give me a second. Boop, 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 boop. Y'all ever miss your future kids? That's so silly. The fact that Toss can write both this and the most soul-destroying stuff too, incredible. I'm gonna say this for the 100th time. Toss is a good writer. Toss keeps serving. Candy floss. Queen, I gotta head out. You don't mind? Oh my god, please head out. It's all good. Oh my god, why did that send ignore? What? New chapter of my fanfic this weekend? Oh my god, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm currently getting shots twice a week. Whoa. Oh, is it for, like, I'm guessing it's for a condition. I'm gonna have a moment of silence for that. I'm gonna look at something real quick. Boop boop beep boop beep boop. Boop beep boop 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 boop. I have to give myself a shot once a week too. It's brutal. Yeah, I have like, yeah, yeah. I see, I see, I see, I see. Sorry, I was just looking at something completely unrelated. What are you saying? Allergy shot. I see, I see. The angst worms invaded my brain. I need to get back into fluff or I might die. We're gonna get back into fluff. We're gonna do Unchanging Polaris, which I know you've read. Guys, I've had a couple of people like write to me being like, oh my god, I saw you recommend this fic and I finished it in one day. And I'm like, how are you guys so fast? How are you guys so fast? It's kind of crazy. I am so slow. And that's also because like I'm doing other things. Like I feel like there's never enough time for the time in the day to do anything. So like I can't read that much or else I like have to not do other shit. And I'm just like, oh my god, you guys are such fast readers. It's crazy. I'm gonna ask you. Okay, Reef. Okay, Reef. We'll talk later. They're always so good and I don't have hobbies. That's fair. That's fair. I have nothing to say to that. It's a PolytrixWeek. Oh, look, when I get into reading something, I will stay up till 6 a.m. to finish it. I get that. I get that. I don't know. I feel like I'm also like reading a couple at the same time right now, and I'm just like, brain gets too full. TikTok, I hate you, TikTok. Oh my god. It will keep making me do these puzzles in the middle of the live. I don't know if your phone does this, but I use text to speech a lot. I don't like text to speech. I don't like it. It's not the same. I would rather read it myself. No, why are we glitching? Oh my god, no, no, no. I read Two's Company in one day when it still had 70,000 words. See, that's crazy to me. I know a couple of people that read Two's Company, like as it is right now in one day. And I'm like, y'all are crazy. Are we at New York chapter in Unchanging Polaris? We might be. I don't know. We're on chapter 4. Hashtag Rumira domination. Because last time was Zomira, and they like saw this kid taking photos with Zoe and Mira, being like, "Oh, we're Zomira shippers. Can you take this photo for us, Rumi?" Oh, this fic is so silly. Okay, is the stream still lagging, y'all? Is it still lagging? Hi, Zach. Okay, it's not lagging. We're good. Rumi getting left out was wild. Rumi? You're leaving Rumi out? I don't understand why you would leave any of them. There's 3 of them. There's 3 of them. Just get a photo with all of them. It's not fucking twice. There's not 9 of them. And look, even if I met twice, I would get a photo with 9 of them. Oh my god. I'm sorry, that was ridiculous. That was so rude. Ruby, please, one chance. I'm sorry, I'm everyone's type. Yeah, I feel bad for Rumi. But also I relate so hard. There's been so many moments in these fanfics where I felt called out by how they characterize Rumi. Because I'm like, that's just me. Ooh. That's like throwing away. Y'all, I was so distracted by this that I got on the wrong train. You can turn off the live at any time. Please go to your bachelorette party. Oh my god. I'm on the right one now. Okay, good. Oh my god. Oh yeah, the call outs are wild sometimes. Common commuter L. Oh my god, there was this one time I took the wrong. Oh my god, there was this one time I took the wrong NJ Transit train. And if you take the wrong train on NJ Transit, you have to wait like 1 hour for the next train to come so you can go back and then get the next train. Like, it is hell. I was like having a breakdown. Guys, NJ Transit it's my biggest nightmare. Biggest nightmare, biggest enemy, NJ Transit. Oh my god. Oh. Anyway, who put me in charge? I swear, real. At least like when you're in New York and you like miss a subway, that still sucks. But at least the next one comes, depending on the train, the next one comes in like 10 minutes max. Oh my god, sorry. That was like one of the worst experiences of my life. I'm making pretty big statements, but it kind of was. You have to start a live if you miss it again. What? What? It's fine, the live isn't over yet. You can just watch it outside. Wait, what are you saying? I'm gonna leave that over there, and I'm gonna start the next chapter of Unchanging Polaris. So this chapter is called #Roomira Domination. Favorite chapter so far in Choose Company? The proposal chapter. I said this before. The proposal chapter. Hands down. Hands down. Anyone else ignore their responsibilities for these lives? I do. I do, so I can't really blame you guys, so whatever. Let me read the notes real quick. Still on vacation, but I had this locked and ready to go. So here's a 15K chapter. Oh, it's long. This one's long. Do I want to do this right now? 15K is long. 15K chapter to tide you over till I post my next chapter when I get back around next Friday. This chapter features some needed Zoe love plus some light angst, but it gets resolved by the end, so no worries for now, homie. Oh, 15K. Toss is recovering from a flu too, and she's still putting out chapters. I am like, girl, please rest. She made that post being like, oh, I took a pill and slept, and I feel so much better. And I'm like, I'm so happy you feel better. Please rest. Please rest. I've been sleeping for 10 hours like every day for the last 2 days. It's kind of crazy. My body is trying to tell me something. Someone make a toss edit to that one Hamilton song. Why do you write like you're running out of time? Someone please make a toss. The thing is, we don't know what she looks like. I'm gonna take a break. Take a break! There's so many that apply. Already my PolytrixWeek one-shots are right there. Should we do that? Should we do that? Should we do that? We should create a fandom persona for Toss. Okay, I was gonna read the Unchanging Polaris, but 15K is a bit much, so I might do that this weekend instead. And let's go to Reefwriting. Reef's one-shots. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, these are like pretty short ones. Do we just binge them all right now? I'm gonna see how far I can get. Oh my god, I can stay. I'm a little turtle, not really a person. Alexander, come back to sleep. I got an early meeting out of town. Toss doing that meme where she is like, I'm still writing. I'm heading out to write. Goodbye. Toss, Alexander Hamilton, so real. One of them is like 3K, but most of them are under 1,500. Already saw Shivers take notes. No, literally, like, me being like, Toss, come back to sleep. And Toss is like, I have an early meeting out of town. That's a funny one. I'm taking notes. Okay, Reef, let's go to your one-shots. Which one is the... Okay, the first one is I Need to Say Something by Reefwriting. Oh, wait. PolytrixWeek 2025 prompt day 1 confession / first kiss. Zoe has something to tell the girls. Oh, I'm so ready. Oh. You're gonna inspire another fic, Artie. Oh god, I'm just like streamer Zoe, y'all. I'm just like streamer Zoe. I just keep fanning the flames. And I have to be like, Toss, I hope it's okay, we're just having fun. But Toss is having fun with it as well, so like, as long as it doesn't get too weird, it's fine. Okay, Sam, goodbye. Let's start Reef's Polytrix one-shots. This one is called I Need to Say Something. And guess what the first line is? I need to say something. Mira and Rumi both turned to her from their place on the couch. A queue of videos Zoe herself had selected, still playing on the TV. Rumi spoke first. Something wrong, Zoe? Mira followed quickly. You look, like, weirdly serious. Because I am. Because this is serious. She turned away, biting her lip, then forced her face back to them and basically marched around the couch to stand in front of them. The second she started moving, Mira reached forward to pause the videos on the screen. Rumi had a concerned look on her face, and the slight nervous flickering of her patterns made Zoe hesitate. But no, she needed to get it out. She couldn't do it anymore. So? Mira started to say, I know we've been through a lot these past few months, together, the whole moon, the Sacha boys, Rumi's secret, all of it. It's been a lot. But it's also reinforced to me that there is not much that can tear us apart, that can take us out. We are strong, and strongest when we are together. She breathed, feeling the weight of what's coming sitting in her chest. I felt that way for a long time, but it's really true. We've proved that. Rumi's anxiety disappeared, smiling just slightly. We did. Zoe nearly faltered, that tantalizing smile not helping her to focus on what she's trying to say. But looking at Mira wasn't any better. Her face serious, eyebrows furrowed to indicate she was locked in and focused on Zoe's words. Well, I guess I've also been kinda keeping a secret from you both. Not quite as earth-shattering as being a half-demon. No offense, Rue. None taken. It's literally almost shattered the earth. So, pretty fair. She rubbed at the back of her neck, but looked up again to keep her eyes on the youngest hunter. She inhaled, slow and deep. But it is really big, so I need you guys to know that more than anything I care about you. And your feelings. And I know if we can survive nearly dying several times, I'm sure we can get through this without too many issues. She held her hands in front of herself. As long as we talk and are honest, like really honest. I don't want you to lie about how you feel about it, even to make me feel better. Zoe, you're really starting to freak me out. Mira managed, eyes more concerned. We aren't gonna lie to you, not about anything. We saw where lying got us. She glanced at Rumi, eyes softening and setting a hand on the singer's shoulder. And we know now that we need to be honest. You're safe here with us. The tea! I know, but it was small, nervous, and accompanied by nervous hands. I know I am, but it's still taken me like 3 weeks to conjure up the courage to even start this. So, she met their eyes again, individually. Mira was still serious, but her eyes begged for Zoe to breathe, to trust them. And Rumi? Rumi looked so kind, shoulders relaxed, a hand now resting over top the one Mira had placed on her, and gentle encouragement for Zoe to speak written all over her face. Her girls, the girls that cared for her, that always supported her. She trusted them so much. One more breath, and she began. I've known for quite a long time years even, about how I feel. It didn't sneak up on me or hit me like a brick to the face. It was gentle and soft and just made so much sense. And the longer I knew about it, the more I sought it out. She let her arms fall to her sides, relaxing. I felt it every time Mira corrected my dance moves or stood between me and a rowdy fan. I felt it when Rumi would support my lyrics and spend late nights up with me when I couldn't even think about sleeping. I feel it when both of you look at me like I'm wanted and safe and funny. I feel it now, even as I stand here with this tightness in my chest, the weight I feel like I can't stand anymore. So they watched patiently as her heart spilled from her mouth. So even if we are still healing, I can't stand not telling you that I love you, both of you, so much. It feels like singing. It's natural, even when it's hard to hit the notes sometimes. But we harmonize and everything makes sense. And I don't mean I love you in the normal way. I mean in all ways. I love being your friend. I love being your fellow hunter. I love being part of Huntrix. I love spending every waking moment with you. I love you deeply. She took one last breath. Romantically? In every way. She saw the way their eyes changed, shock filling their expressions. She pushed forward. And I know it's a lot, so I'm not saying all this to make you feel bad or to overwhelm you. It's just the truth, and I had to share it. I don't care if you don't feel the same. Well, I mean, maybe a little, but I'm not selfish. You can feel however you want about it. But I mean, just having you here with me in my life, that's enough. It's more than enough. But if there's anything more, I want it. She felt herself shaking, so she chuckled nervously and pulled her arms toward herself and grasped at both of her elbows. So, yeah. I love that Zoe is the one to confess first. That's such a good choice. Their eyes were still on her, but she could see how they were both thinking. Nothing negative, nothing positive. No visceral reaction to the words, I'm guessing. No visceral reaction to the words. That had to be good, right? They were contemplating. There's nothing wrong with... Rumi shot up off the couch, hands up by her chest as she glanced around. I need a coin. She took off around the couch toward her room, patterns glowing brighter. Rumi? Mira managed, voice tight and only slightly annoyed, before she turned back to Zoe, opening and closing her mouth a few times. I don't know what she's doing, but Zoe... Rumi was back, jogging and breathing heavy, jumping over the couch to land back where she was. Her eyebrows were furrowed, and she locked eyes with Mira. Heads or tails? What? The dancer deadpanned, blinking. Heads or tails, pick one. I need to decide. And it's not fair otherwise, so I'm doing this. Heads or tails? She sounded out of breath, holding up the coin in her hands like that had the answer. Rumi, what does that... We need to... Rumi glanced at Zoe. Just a minute. Oh, was that Zoe? Oh, sorry. Rumi, what does that... We need to... Rumi glanced at Zoe. Just a minute, please. Then back at Mira. Pick or I'm picking for you. What? Jesus, fine. Tails. Rumi flipped the coin, catching it smoothly and slapping it onto the back of her opposite hand, and it came up heads. Zoe wasn't sure what was happening, but Rumi's eyes brightened, and the color of her pattern swirled, something that happened lately when she was happy and just a little nervous. She looked back up at Mira. You understand what I'm thinking, right? Please say yes. Their eyes were locked for several horrible seconds as Zoe shifted on her feet and felt her whole body buzz with nerves. But apparently, Mira did get what was happening. Her eyes widened and her mouth dropped open. Then she looked at Zoe, then the coin, and shut it, eyebrows furrowing. You're so ridiculous. But she swung her hand towards Zoe. But go ahead. Rumi set the coin in Mira's hand and stood much closer to Zoe than she would have anticipated. But it wasn't unwelcome, just nerve-wracking. Zoe? She looked up, trying to keep her bravado as she looked into Rumi's eyes. Yeah? Rumi smiled, that soft, knowing smile. Her eyes looked so gentle, meeting Zoe's own and feeling like a warm cage around her. She couldn't look away. Maybe she didn't want to. I feel the same. I spent so much time, oh my god, I spent so much of my life waiting to make the golden honeymoon, to fix myself. But you two showed me I wasn't something to fix. And I love you, both of you. It was just as easy to feel it. But it was just as easy to feel it, but hard to keep it away. I thought I'd never have it, that love. But I've wanted it. She breathed out, eyes shaking. Can I kiss you? Zoe blue screened. What does that mean? I don't know. Zoe blue screened, blinking blankly. Say that 10 times. Blinking blankly for several moments before gasping at a gentle touch to her jaw. Fuck. Oh, oh no. Oh, oh no. Okay, apparently the live was paused. Guys, my phone died. First time for everything. I didn't even realize my battery was so low. I didn't know that like the live would just pause. What did it look like? Did I just freeze for like a few minutes? No, Reef did nothing wrong. I was dumb and didn't charge my phone. We just saw you grabbing your phone. It's her black. It was your blurry PFP. We saw the ceiling or something. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh no. Well, we're back. Oh. Let's see. I'm using the same charger as my phone, so I'm using the same charger on my phone as my computer, so we can keep going until my computer dies. Reef, we apologize. Please keep writing about Reef. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, guys, I'm so sorry. That was like fully my fault. I didn't realize that my battery was dying. I saw light on frozen screenplay. I'm so sorry. Okay, where we left off, Rumi was like, can I kiss you? Zoe blue screened. That's where we had left. Blinking blankly for several moments before gasping at a gentle touch to her jaw. She glanced at Mira, whose eyes were wide but kind, looking between both of them. Oh, that's what the coin was for. Siri, play Kiss You by One Direction. That's real good. That's real good, Reef. That's real good. Anyway, she says, yes. Rumi leaned down, breathing out one more time, nervous and light, before kissing her cheek, then the edge of her lips, both so gentle she barely felt it. Then she pressed a kiss to her lips, soft and shaky, and so perfect. She let her eyes close as Rumi let out a short breath before kissing her again, a bit more firm, but no less nervous. It was endearing. She smiled, a hand coming up to grab softly at the wrist of Rumi's hand, still resting against her face. When she pulled away, Rumi's face was flushed, patterns dancing happily, and a wide smile on her face. Wow. Yes, the perfect sentence to say when you just got kissed by your crush for the first time. I want to kiss you too, if that's okay. Zoe blinked, snapping her head over to Mira, who was standing now, a slight smirk and her arms crossed. Rumi stepped away, arms behind her back, and still smiling. Mira did a similar move, tilting her jaw up just a bit, but not saying a word, just spoke with her eyes, pausing for a moment, asking permission. Zoe just nodded, and lips were pressed against her, not shy, but not aggressive either, just firm and warm and meaningful. She relaxed, leaning further into the taller girl. Mira pulled away too soon after, standing shoulder to shoulder with Rumi, then turned. I guess if we are being honest then, I want to kiss you as well. It's been hard to resist, you know, how pretty you are, especially when you glow. Rumi blinked, blushing harder. Oh! Mira nodded and pulled the same move she had on Zoe, and watching them kiss did something to her too. Yeah, they could survive anything. Maybe more than survive. Real nice. Real nice. Let me check the notes. Late to the party, but in my defense, all the PolytrixWeek stuff was on Twitter, and I morally don't fuck with that shit, which I respect. I respect so much. I would not be on that platform if everyone agreed to just like move over to Blue Sky, but Blue Sky also has like bad UI, and all my friends are there, so it's so hard. Anyway, writing and posting the day 2 prompt domestic tonight as well, and I'll be posting a one-shot every day for the rest of the week. Yay! I'm also fist fighting with Ellipsis because I want to be a responsible writer, and it seems to think I'm not a person. Oh, well, you figured it out. We are reading Reefwriting's PolytrixWeek one-shots. Because we read Toss's new chapter, but then finished, and I was like, the Unchanging Polaris chapter is a bit long, and Reef was like, my one-shots are right there, and I was like, bet. They are so everything. Okay. Oh, by Toss's new chapter, I mean, she wrote a new chapter for the fic where Polytrix are mothers, and they have a little girl named Nari, and she wrote a new short chapter for that. It wasn't Two's Company. Yeah, everyone give Reef some love. Everyone give Reef some love, and let's go to the next one. I wish I could just like go. Oh, I can just go on to next work. Okay. I'm also let me check the tags just in case. I'm hoping none of these have like crazy intense stuff. This is the domestic one, so like this should be fine. It's called Laundry Day. Summary: Mira is annoyed with her girls waking her up with their laundry shenanigans. And the theme is domestic for this one. Okay. Mira heard them first. The muffled giggling, the shuffling of feet, and the soft thwump of something landing on the foot of the bed. She grumbled softly, not fully awake, but it was a warning to those who dared disturb her sleep. The giggling didn't stop. Instead, soft, barely audible voices joined them as movement on the bed became more persistent. Hushed whispers, hissed words, giggled warnings she was all too familiar with. She smiled sleepily despite herself and groaned again, hoping that they would let it be. They didn't. They were quieter for a moment, but soon it was back again. The playful noises of two people who loved each other trying not to be loud and failing miserably. Awesome. Great. Or maybe it was on purpose. Mira didn't really care. She couldn't. Not with how much she really loved waking up this way. She tried not to let it show, but maybe Rumi and Zoe had figured it out and were doing it for her sake now. This is so good. Oh my god. She sat up quickly, but not without purpose, and grabbed at the nearest body she could. The high squeak gave her the answer of who it was, and she smirked as she dragged her backwards and flopped back onto the bed with a wiggling Zoe in her clutches. Mira, no! You two are so bad at being quiet. She grumbled into the smaller girl's hair, a smile betraying her angry act. Just because you're whispering doesn't mean I can't hear you. Another giggle from the foot of the bed, and... No, not now. My dad just called. Let me message my dad real quick. No, Sorry, y'all. I messaged her. I hope everything's fine. I told him I was going live. Oh my god, okay. Another giggle from the foot of the bed, and another body landed on her other side. It's not her fault. She can't help but argue with me about how to fold the clothes. You fold them like a military kid. It's horrendous, Zoe responded, laughing when Mira blew air onto her neck. Mira, come on, back me up here. She knew what Zoe meant. Rumi treated laundry day like a secret operation, sweeping every room for stray cloths, timers for the machines right before they go off so that they don't sit too long, and folding clothes with a board to make them impossibly neat. Zoe took care of her sensitive clothes, leathers, or delicate fabrics, but her day-to-day things, sweatpants, shorts, tees, tanks, all haphazardly thrown into a fold, then into the nearest drawer. The thought of Zoe's messy dresser nearly made her shudder. She'd like to think she was a happy middle-aged, not obsessive, but happy middle-aged person, not obsessive, but careful, I guess. Let me check the... Oh. I'm gonna finish this fic, and then apparently there is someone coming, and there's no one at home. Middle ground was the intention. I'm sorry. It's all good. I know how you're pumping these out, Reef. It's kind of crazy. So, again, it's all fine. You're both awful with laundry in your own way, she murmured against Zoe's skin. And yet, I love you regardless. Zoe huffed. Impartial nonsense. Rumi is like a fabric dictator. I didn't say you were wrong, Zoe. Rumi made an offended noise. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me for being diligent about washing instructions of my possessions. I'm so bullied. Mean to me, both of you. At the feigned victim complex, Mira grunts, releasing Zoe and flipping over to squish Rumi into the bed. Rumi squawked and wiggled, laughing, but trying to get free. It made Mira smile again. Shh, you're like an angry bird, Mira mumbled, kissing at Rumi's collarbone. You're so uptight. Relax. The clothes aren't going to explode without supervision. Zoe is laughing now, half laying on top of Mira with a wicked grin. Exactly! Tell her, Mir! She opened one eye and tilted her head. It was a bit of a strain, but she met Zoe's eyes. You're both in trouble for waking me up. Can't even get along to let your poor girlfriend sleep. You must fight over my bed like scoundrels. Shit. Someone's here, y'all. I need to go. Oh, fuck. Now I feel so bad. Give me a second. Give me a second. I might be back. I might not be. Oh, shit. Give me a second. Is there anyone still here? Oh, God. Someone rang the door, but no one is there. I'm gonna... Biri çaldı ama kimse yoktu. If it rings again, I'll, like, have to go, but, like... No one was there. No one answered. Oh my god. But, like, I might have to go after this because it's the electrician who's coming to fix the lights. Who speaks Korean? Artie, someone is plotting against me. What? 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 What is that? I'm gonna finish this real quick, y'all. Rumi's chest was shaking with amusement. Zoe smiled wider. The smaller girl spoke first, because she was always the more challenging of the two. Oh yeah? And what is our punishment, my dear? Oh, love of my life, third of my heart, mother of my many adopted plushies. This is so good. Mira sat up, ignoring the annoyed whine from Rumi, and met Zoe face to face, eyes dark, eyebrows scrunched, and lips in a soft frown. Zoe's eyes widened as she was forced to sit up from her previous position, a shocked intake of breath the only noise she made. Mira smirked devilishly then, grabbing Zoe's face firmly but intentionally gentle. You think pet names will protect you, baby doll? Oh! Guys. If Mira called me baby doll, I would just die. I would just die right then and there. Oh! Oh my god. Coming in hot. Like, out of all of them, I think I'm, like, most in love with Mira. The thing is, I am a roomie in love with Mira, and I love Zoe, but I'm, like, in love with Mira, so, like, I would die. The shudder that shifted Zoe's whole body was worth it, and the blush that climbed her cheeks as a nervous huff of laughter exited her mouth. But no words came. She had been effective in stopping Zoe's mouth. Bet. She smirked wider, tilting her head and moving closer. I think, if you really must know, a fair punishment might be. She paused intentionally, harshly, making Zoe's eyes wiggle with a hint of worry. Being? She smiled against the poor girl's cheek. The big spoon. Rumi let out an exaggerated "ha!" while Zoe whined. No, Mira, I'm too little. I don't fit as the big spoon. I'm naturally held. She chuckled against her cheek. Well, make it up to me then, and maybe I'll spare you your fate. I'm at your service, dearest, Zoe rattled off, saluting with a lopsided smirk. Help me kiss Rumi's face until she glows. What? No, it tickles, Rumi protested, but it was too late. Both girls trapped her between them, small screeches and giggles and laughing filling the space, until eventually the bright glow shone over all three of them, and Mira wouldn't trade it for the world. Beautiful, 10 out of 10, no notes. I'm naturally held. I started to write a different version of this where the girls were cooking her breakfast, but it stopped making sense to me. So I started over with the premise of laundry, and I'm much happier with the result. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my blurb. Beautiful. Amazing. They love their glow stick girlfriend, exactly. Oh my god. Oh my god. What was that? Thank you. Oh, that was manifesting. Thank you, Nat. I'm very worried about the electrician now. Because my dad texted me being like, the electrician's coming at 10. I think they just rang and laughed. It's so stupid. Like, it's so stupid. It's so dumb. You're still on? I'm still on. May or may not have used a naturally held line on my GF. It's a good one. The Iron Maiden. Nor. The fuck. Anyways, I don't know what to do. Should I wait for them to come? Ya galiba çalıp hemen gittiler. Çünkü zamanında açamadım. Butonları görmediğim için. I am stressing. Okay. Message your dad. I just did. Rude, interrupting my fig. Literally so rude. To go find the electrician. Imagine explaining to the electrician your online book club. Thank you. Like 4 times too. No, like literally, girl, come on. What's the next one? How long is the next one? The next one's also really short. Oh, I'm like worried, but like I'm gonna keep the door open just so like I can hear better. But I guess I'll stay. I'll stay. I'm just worried because we've had no lights for like the second night in a row, and we really, really wanted to get it fixed. I'm a girl. Period. Una más, por favor. I feel like I'm messing up my Spanish. Wait, what happened? Well, honestly, I don't know what you call me. Just be nice. Slay queen. Material girl. The next one is called Our Little Loaded Rivalry. Our Little Loaded Rivalry. TM. Trademark. Ooh, there's sexual tension in this one. I'm reading the tags. Sparring, sexual tension, arrogance, Lil Ship Mira, aggravated Rumi, flirting while fighting. Beautiful. Okay, this seems fun. Scents and smells, gay asses, gay thoughts. I love AO3 tags so much. Oh. Anyway, yeah, let's go. Written for PolytrixWeek 2025, day 3. Pre-debut. Reef cameo in the next Artie Sauce chapter. Reef, you want to become a character in Artie Sauce universe? Okay, let's go. Inspired by Too Drunk to Find a URL on Tumblr. Their comic from a pre-debut Rumira / Polytrix. I'm in love with their art, oh my god. Rumi and Mira can't stop fighting / flirting and have to reassure Zoe that it's all in good friendly fun. It's not, it's gay as Reef your canon now. Thank you, Nat. Thank you for the roses. Oh my god. I'm gonna, ooh. I feel like it's gonna, I saw the first line. Oh my god, Nat. Whoa. Thank you. I saw the first line. Whenever there's dancing in a fic, I know it's gonna be hot as shit. Whenever there's dancing, that is their mating ritual. Like, dancing is their mating ritual. The move was executed flawlessly. The spin, the flip, the swift kick to Mira's center mass, and finally, the whoosh as her training blade swung back down and landed at the pink-haired girl's neck. Well, this is fighting, not... which is even hotter than dancing. So, I love a fighting thing. I am a big sucker for fighting as flirting. Fighting as a replacement for flirting. It gets me going. I think I know this art. Both of them out of breath. Give me a second. Shit. Ben canlı yayındayım. Okay. Ona çağırdım. Okay. Oh. This is what, the 5th time? Poor Reef, your fic keeps getting interrupted. I'm so sorry. The electrician is coming, it's fine. She ran. Doesn't the electrician have to come in the room? I don't know. If he does, then... I don't think so, though, because the power unit is over there. I don't fucking know, bro. Did you get the finish? No. I'm gonna finish this one, and I think I'm gonna have to end, or my family's gonna get on my ass, so... but I do want to read this one. Both of them out of breath, Rumi smirking. Rumi smirking like she just won the war and not just another one of their battles. Her arrogance escapes her mouth before she can catch it. What was that about my stamina, rich girl? Oh, you dipped so fast. I'm sorry, I was nervous. Sorry, y'all, let me get into this fic for a second. Let me get in here. Hi, Spider! Mira still looks breathless, hair beautifully messy as she lays on the ground. Ooh, only half propped up by her elbows. She follows the line of Rumi's blade up to her arms, tracing along the simple t-shirt with gray sleeves, and finally landing once more on Rumi's flushed face, her braid looser than usual, some hair from either side of her face, framing it in a devastatingly beautiful way. She could play this game. Could be better. She huffed, defiant and loving every split-second change to Rumi's reaction. The twitch down of her smirk, the twitch down of her smirk, the tightening of her grip on the sword, and the darkening of her eyes. You, angry and offended and I dare say a bit whiny. Mira smiles wider and watches as Rumi huffs into a messy semi-speech about her technique winning over Mira's raw power. They don't hear the rushing footsteps against the dirt outside the training arena, the rushed apology to a waiting Celine, or the opening of the overtly large door into the yard, until a small, sad voice breaks their eyes away from each other. "Are you guys fighting again?" From both of their mouths, turning their full attention to the pout on Zoe's face as she stands there in a cropped hoodie, her hair down and both tragically and beautifully wavy, sending a pang to both of their chests. They see the barely there threat of tears in the Magne's eyes as she speaks again. "I thought you were finally getting along." Both of their chests nearly cave, guilt basically stabbing them worse than any blade ever could. Without even looking at each other, Rumi is extending an arm to grab Mira, pulling her up and wrapping an arm around her shoulder. Mira follows her lead and does the same, their minds sinking in order to alleviate their younger bandmates' worries. With two somehow convincing smiles and a thumbs up from both of them, they manage to speak. "We are. It was just friendly sparring." "Yeah, what she said." Both feel the tension in each other's shoulders as at the bold-faced lie, the energy thrumming through their bodies at the unresolved frustration and tension, their hands doing what they are allowed in the moment, gripping hard into the flesh of each other's shoulders as they wait for Zoe to hopefully let go. For a moment, they both worry they aren't faking well enough, but a smile returns to Zoe's face, so wide she closes her eyes. "Oh, okay." A soft giggle has her usual brightness beaming directly at them. Without even knowing, they both think the same thing. Zoe is sun itself, and I don't mind burning up. Oh, what a sentence! Whoa! They get another surprise moments later when Zoe is slamming into them, one arm wrapped around each of their necks, an excited "yay" emerging from her mouth next, greedily expecting a hug. They don't dare fight it. Their free hands quickly land on the girl's back, unintentionally, or maybe intentionally, landing so close that their fingers touch at her upper back. Mira's ring and middle sending shivers down Rumi's arm, while Rumi's pinky runs down the length of Mira's thumb and nearly sends her into a spiral. They ignore it. Ignore the tension. Let Zoe melt into them with a breathless giggle of joy, not moving their hands because that's suspicious. She will know. We have to pretend. Rumi registers then that Mira's grip on her shoulder has fallen to her waist, an intimate touch she hadn't been prepared for. The firm grip part of what she thinks is just Mira playing along, but it doesn't make the flush of her cheeks any less real. It also doesn't distract from how good Zoe smells, or the warmth of Mira's skin when she is touching the taller girl's shoulder. Mira has similar thoughts, how Zoe smells like fake ocean breeze, sand, and vanilla shampoo, how the flush of her cheeks at being so close to them has her embarrassed and unable to pull away, how Rumi's skin is soft and warm, and she could oh so easily squeeze at her side to send her into a rage for tickling. But she doesn't disrupt this moment. She can't. It's too important. They are hunters. And these feelings, they can't have that. Can't allow themselves to be distracted, even by each other. Bonus. Zoe melts into their arms, both warm, flushed from sparring, sweating, but still making space for her. She greedily feels at their soft hair while her arms are still wrapped around them, the scent of lavender from Rumi's, and some kind of warm spice from Mira's. She could drown in these two, or in between them. She indulges in the thought, going back to thoughts of their sweaty bodies, power they had over her natural speed against each other. She was glad they weren't actually fighting anymore, but it was, admittedly, really hot how intense both of her girls were. We have lights. And God said, let there be light. We have lights. She was glad they weren't actually fighting anymore, but it was admittedly really hot how intense both of her girls were. But that's something she'd keep for herself. Dedicated to the artist, too drunk to find a URL on Tumblr. Let me see their art. I'm having such a good time being involved in PolytrixWeek. My god, the high is highing. I'm gonna check out the art real quick and then I think I'm gonna go because I think I'm really trying my family's patience. Hello? Hello? Girl. Oh! Take care, everyone. If you could only see the beast you've made of me by Ninja Rider, true poetry. We aren't being kept in the dark anymore. It keeps going and coming back. The greed they talk about in the vibe. Reef, your fic was so wholesome it generated light. My fanfic healed the power grid. Let there be light again? Hello? I'm just trying to find this Tumblr account. Hello? I'm also like not on Tumblr. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see this, but like, I feel like I should be able to. Like, it's not important, but like, I'll check it out later, but I don't think it's working. This is so sad. This is so sad. Let the light stay. Nah, bro, I got you. Yeah, Reef, can you send that to me, pretty please? Can you send me the comic? We should be in dark for TC. I got you. Of course. Thank you. Okay, I think that's where I'm going to end. That was really sweet. And I think I'm going to continue these one-shots sometime. They're so loud. I need more bricks. My life has been too calm lately. Night. Thanks, Ree, for giving Arlie light. Okay, what's the outro music, chat? We've been going with Cat's Eye lately, so I can do more Cat's Eye. I can do something from Sis, or I can do Gabriella. Kiss You One Direction. I did see you suggest that. You can play another Honey Revenge song. Oh my god. I do kind of want to save Honey Revenge for The Art of Spoiling Pretty Girls. Like Ride. Pick a Rayami song. Guys, too many. I did see Zin type Kiss You One Direction, so like while we were reading. So let me do that, and then I can do Gabriella next time. Hands off Gabriella. Have I ever listened to this? I was never a One Direction person.